And did he talk about what he had done?
Didn't go into detail. I just asked him in person if what he said was true the night before, and he said it was.
And then Lance replies, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" And Tyler says, "I am, I'm sorry."
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. This is a huge development. It was such a big deal that even Eric Kirk down in the courtroom, the family was all crying, because the judge actually, in the best interest of what's right for the family, what's right for the court, it being a public hearing, made the decision that Lance Twiggs' interview will be published, not only in the courtroom, but also published on the television that's broadcast to the world. And Fox News got this wrong, and they better correct it on their Instagram, saying that the judge denied her access to have it being public, which is not true. The judge ruled just now, I just left the courtroom, where he ruled that it will be published in the court, which is public, because there's people from the outside world that's inside the court viewing this evidence. And then also it will be broadcast on the television screen, which will be captured by the media. And this is probably one of the biggest items of evidence that exists in this case, that's going to be the crux of not only the charges of murder, premeditated murder, and also the enhancements, which is evidence that he targeted Charlie Kirk because of his political beliefs. So this was huge. And I think it's not huge because it's in any way biased. It's huge because it's fair. If you're going to have a public trial, you need the evidence to be public. You cannot have a public trial where only the judge sees evidence. That don't make any sense. People shouldn't even be in the courtroom if that was the case. So the judge made the appropriate ruling. I respect the fact that he's balanced, because he did have a previous ruling and then he changed his mind based on the new evidence that was presented to him and case law that was presented. And I'll say this too, if you guys are watching it, the attorney for the media has done an incredible job articulating why it is important that the world and the media have access to these hearings that are supposed to be public. And so, this is pretty big. And when we go back in there, and I got about 5 minutes before I have to be back in there or so, we're going to hear Lance Twiggs' testimony that he gave to investigators, which is probably why they gave him qualified immunity, or not qualified immunity, but limited immunity. We're going to see text messages, and we're also going to see Discord messages. So I think it's the Discord message, text message, and a note that was left behind to Lance Twiggs from Tyler Robinson. And I don't know what it says. It was given to the public in part, but I think that at the end of the day, we're going to hear exactly what Lance Twiggs said and what was provided to him. Did it feel like a relief when the ruling made? It was so everybody cried. Everybody got emotional. I felt a little emotion because I know how, hard the family had to fight to get fair access to evidence in this trial. They have their own attorney representative, and he advocated on their behalf to say, look, if they're going to fly down here, they're going to be present in court. They should be able to see the evidence. They should have the right to know what happened to Charlie Kirk. And the family advocacy and also the prosecution, tactically changing course in part, really gave the judge more to consider, which is why he made the ruling. So I'm excited about it. I think it's good. I think it's leading towards justice for Charlie Kirk. And I'll see you guys in a second. We're going to go back into the court in 5 minutes, and y'all stay tuned.
Did he spend the night in the apartment the night of September 9th into September 10th?
Into September 10th. Yeah, he did. Yes.
Do you know when he left the apartment on September 10th?
I don't know an exact time. I just know he left early. I heard him leaving, and he just said he had a long drive to work that day, so he was leaving early.
Okay, so early. Any guess as to what when that was?
I don't know. I would have thought it was 5 a.m. because that's when an early work day was for him, but it was probably more like 4.
Okay.
I'm going to have him spit out his gum just to make sure that...
I can do that.
You mind?
It should right in front of your laptop.
Oh, here you go.
Thank you.
All right, so what time did you get up on September 10th?
Probably like 12 to 1 p.m.
You didn't have to work that day.
No.
And did you hear from Tyler? Did he call or text you before then?
No, he sent that message in the group chat I mentioned, but he didn't message me directly at all that day.
Okay. When did you first hear from him on September 10th?
It was at 11 o'clock with that, like, automated message.
Okay, 11 p.m.
Yeah.
What about, he asks you here, remember how I was engraving bullets? Was he engraving bullets before this?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when, but he had said he was planning to go hunting with his family, and he asked me for if we had a Dremel because he said he wanted to engrave messages on bullets, and I just told him where our Dremel was, and I told him to make sure he doesn't set off a bullet on accident in the house, but I didn't really think about it until then.
How long before September 10th was this that he asked about the Dremel?
I don't remember, because he'd been talking about the hunting/camping trip for a couple months, but I don't remember when he was specifically asking to engrave the bullets. So
are we talking like a year before?
Oh no, not that long. It would have been, I'd say at most a month before this was when he was asking.
Okay.
How long?
Okay. And Tyler says, I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. And then Lance replies, you weren't the one who did it, right? And Tyler says, I am, I'm sorry. Lance says, I thought they caught the person. And then Tyler says, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude and interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering.
We could scroll down to page 3. Continue reading.
Lance says, why? And Tyler says, why did I do it? And Lance says, yeah. Tyler says, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything in the news about them finding it. We'll update you shortly, we'll update you by midnight. And then Lance says, all right, stay safe. How long have you been planning this?
Scroll down a little bit, please, Kimberly.
And Tyler replies, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it.
We can scroll down to page 4 and continue reading about halfway down. I'll stop you about halfway down.
This is while they were spot, but I don't want to chance it while they were parked there. If they had found it, I imagine there would be more commotion. Again, I'm sorry for roping you into all of this. You shouldn't have to worry about this. And Lance replies, does anyone else know? Tyler says, not to my knowledge.
All right, I'll stop you there.